Welcome, everybody, to the Seattle Sports Union podcast. My name is Abraham DeWeese. I'm back again with the Southwest Seahawk, Rob English, and the Soul Man, Brian Solak. He is on the boards. And you know what, Rob? This is me getting in the zone. You can't see me right now, but I have a Zen-like look on my face, hand grasps, and my third eye is opening. I have seen what's going to happen.
Have you?
Our Seattle Seahawks are going to win, but it's not going to be what Brian the Soul Man Solak is telling everybody. It's not going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think it'll be a comfortable win in a close score. How about you? What do you think? What is your katra? As you look deep down inside yourself, what does it tell you?
Yeah, I am thinking, I've been thinking about a lot. And, as I've said many times in previous weeks, I've been trying to maintain an even kilter here, right? I don't want
You
to get too
have.
high, too low.
You've influenced me, by the way. I've been thinking about this through meditation and logic.
Right, exactly, right? You gotta harness the chi, you know what I mean?
Yes,
You
yes,
gotta find the
exactly.
centers, the yin and the yang, right? So, yeah, and that's been my stance on it. And so, while I do believe that the New England Patriots are not a good matchup for us, I am not going to be so much of a homer, right? To say that, oh, we're gonna go in there and just mop the floor with them. That's a good football team there.
Mhm.
I do believe that we are going to win by 2 scores. So whether that's
Okay.
even if that's 9, right? I think we're gonna win
Or
by 2 scores.
even if that's 5, a safety and a field goal.
Yeah. Well, that's still technically a one-score game, right?
That's 2 scores, though. You made 2 scores to get the or maybe 2 safeties. What if it's a
Yeah, yeah, 2 yeah, that was
4 to nothing
technically 2
game?
scores, right?
Yeah, okay, so 2 scores, that would be 10 points, at least, and that would be in the NFL, that's a blowout, you
Yeah,
know,
right?
on
If
the
you get
low
a
end of it.
yeah, if you had a spread of 10 points, you're expecting one team to blow the other team out, right? So,
Yeah, and
um,
I think the spread's now, what,
I
4.5?
think it's 4.5 right
Seahawks?
now, yeah. Yep.
Too high, too low? What do you think?
I think it's about right.
I think it's about right too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't I mean, frankly, I don't think that you often wanna see, a crazy wide spread in a Super Bowl game, so, I can't say for sure, but I don't feel like I remember there being too many wide spreads over, historically speaking. But yeah, no, I think that makes sense. 4.5, the 2 really good teams, a really good offense, a really good defense. Well, I guess New England's defense is actually pretty good too. So yeah, I think Seattle is the favorite here for sure, obviously. But yeah, I think 4.5 works.
Yeah, there isn't a part of me that thinks like, well, if we have 4 turnovers, that we're still gonna win the game. I do think that the Patriots are opportunistic and, yeah, they present a challenge. I don't like this narrative that they're just gonna roll over and die. They gotta have all the confidence in the world, don't they?
I would think so. They're riding a high. You have this New England team that is used to winning, used to greatness, and they've
Mhm.
found themselves back in it. Right? They got a coach who's taken them from a 4-win team to a 4-win to a 14-win team, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
I mean, they are riding. I mean, there's argument could be made that their momentum or the high, the wave they're riding is maybe stronger than Seattle's, right? I mean, because they have come out of nowhere and look hot, have got hot and stayed hot, whereas Seattle, we were kind of expecting this, after being a 10 win team, we thought we were going to build on that. And, so it's almost like this is kind of what we should have been doing, right? But going from 4 wins to 14 wins, you're literally on high, right? So
Right.
yeah,
They could easily say, like, they shouldn't have even been, they
right.
shouldn't have even been here, so they're playing with house money at this point.
Sure, sure. Now, conversely, though, with that being the case, one could also say that that's the reason why they're going to get, the barn doors blown off because they got there, but they really shouldn't have been there anyway. And when they got there to a team that really is the consensus, team that belongs there, right? Then yeah, okay, that wave breaks and rolls back. It's okay, you did good, but you weren't going to beat this team.
Yeah, I know a lot of people bring up the point about the road that the Patriots had to take was the easiest ever. I think you still got to win games, though. I mean, you don't make the schedule. The NFL makes the schedule. This isn't college football.
Yeah, yeah. I only give a little bit of weight, if any, to that. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, obviously there was some games that that weren't necessarily the toughest. But to your point, yeah, you can only play who's on your schedule, and you have to win those games. It's still the NFL, and you can lose to teams that you're clearly supposed to beat. It happens, and sometimes you sneak in a win against a team that you were expected to lose to. I mean, one game that our buddy Nate likes to bring up is that Seattle New York game from a couple of years ago, right? Like that game that we should have won. If we had
The
won, we would have made
Giants.
the playoffs. Or was that last
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we won that game, we made the playoffs, and we didn't, and we clearly should have because New York was
Yeah.
horrible.
But that's one where you say, like, okay, well, I don't know if we deserve the playoffs if we lose to the teams that we are supposed to beat. And I think the Patriots deserve to be in the Super Bowl because they beat the teams that were on their schedule. The three losses that they have are not so different than the Seahawks' three losses in so much that they were only by a few points. Like, I think on aggregate, like 9-10 points was the margin of losses for the Patriots. And I think for us, it's been about the same, right? Maybe 6 or 7 points is all we've lost
I
by.
think it's 9, if I'm not mistaken.
9.
I think we've
Okay.
lost the 3 games we lost, I think, by a total of 9 points.
Theirs is very similar. Yeah. So it's not like they're getting blown out in the losses. That defense looks legitimate. I know everybody wants to say, like, well, Justin Herbert's no good. Chargers offensive line is no good. Well, you know who makes them no good? That defense.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. If any of those players that we say are no good, offensive players we say are no good, they go up against a chump defense, they're going to look really good. So yeah, it's always tough. We live in the world where we judge based off of factors that aren't always consistent, right? And so we jump through knee jerk reactions and things like that. So yeah, I don't give it all too much weight. Both these teams, 3 lost teams that deserve to be where they are. They're. I mean, it's for all the marbles. It's going to be a good game. I certainly don't expect it to be a 43-8, blowout Super Bowl like second to last time we were there. It's not going to be one of
Okay.
those.
Yeah. So, all right. We've been nice. We've been fair. We've been zen. We've been within ourselves and we've been logical about this. Now let's get excited. JSN just got Offensive Player of the Year.
Well deserved. Well
Yes.
deserved.
Oh my God.
If it had been anyone else, it would have. It's a complete and total break in the system, right? I mean, the guy was lights out all year long. Later in the season, that they started to pull him out of the games a little bit, the defenses, I mean, but he still managed to make great plays throughout the end of the season. There, wasn't put up those gaudy numbers as he was earlier, but no, I mean, the guy is amazing. Even when they started to key on him, he was still finding a way to make plays. I think he led by over nearly 300 yards at some point throughout the season. Like it was night and day. So yeah,
Everybody.
huge. I love it.
Everybody wanted to put him down. Everybody wanted to say that, it,
Yeah,
you-
all the big mouths on TV. That he's not a number one receiver. The Seahawks got rid of DK Metcalf, and they have this JSN guy who's not a number one receiver. Blah 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 blah.
he's a
And
nice
here we go
slot
again.
guy.
Yeah,
He's an
yeah,
okay slot guy. Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. And then what are you going to do with two slot guys now that you have Cooper Cup? Oh, I don't know. Just
Yeah.
like these idiots, these
Play
dang
football.
idiots. Yeah. But sometimes good football players are good football players, regardless of, whatever box you try to put him in. Like, he is obviously much more than just a slot specialist, It,
He's
it
proven it.
it's exciting. It's great. And obviously, if you're the Vikings, you must think that your team is the dumbest bunch of people. And I'm so happy that they made the dumb decision to give us Sam Darnold.
I mean, yeah. I wish there was an award for what Sam Darnold has done. Right. I mean, he can get MVP, but it's not even for MVP. There's some of him in a. You know what I mean? We need to come up with an
Somehow it
award.
is. Somehow it almost is if he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's something. There's an award. I don't know the name of it, but it's missing, and then they need to figure it out because it's Sam Darnold should win it. Yeah, yeah. It's enough. You can't say enough good things about the guy.
Saying enough good things. This whole year, I've been looking at the offensive line and trying to decide, like, what are they? And there almost seems like a maturation that happened, and I can't pinpoint where it was, but there was a maturation where I looked at the Buccaneers game and I'm like, there's just too many flaws here on the offensive line. Haven't even thought about it. Haven't even thought about it the last 3, 4 weeks. Like even Anthony Bradford, I don't even think about him. I'm like, yeah, he misses one every once in a while. It happens.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we haven't had to. We haven't had to think about it, and I think the offensive line is one of those things that you don't really think about unless you have to, and when you have to, it's because it's playing bad, right?
Right. It's a
we're
false
not talking
start.
about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can only hope that that continues for one more week, and if it does, I don't see how I don't see us losing this game. I
How
will
many?
say that I
Yeah.
don't think, unlike 2 weeks ago, I don't see the game going through Sam Darnold this time. And if I'm jumping ahead in the show, forgive me.
No, that's fine. So you think this is going to be a ground and pound?
Well, I think this is going to be a game about balance. Like I was again. You guys remember, I was like, this game goes the way Sam Darnold goes, and he went
Mhm.
out and did his thing against the Rams. This time, I don't think that's the case. I think we have to go out there, play a balanced game. I think we have to be able to run the football. I'm unsure how that looks with whoever's going to be giving the spell to Kenneth Walker, if it's going to be Halani or I don't know. Have you guys seen the report yet come out?
I have not.
No, I'm guessing
I
it's going to be
assume it's. I
Halani
assume.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to see how that looks. But I think balance is going to be important. We've got to be able to run the football and keep the defense honest in this game. And I think that will spell victory for us. But I think two scores. I think it looks. I think the writing's on the wall well before the end of the fourth quarter.
Have you seen the weakness of the Patriots offense that's been going around? They're basically talking about teams in nickel or dime running like cover six. Like, so your defensive backs are all in zone. It's all zone. And how Drake May kind of struggles with that. And have you furthermore seen how good the Seahawks are in run defense in the nickel?
I think we've seen that very recently, really all season, but certainly more recently, we've been able to play that kind of that shell defense and still stop the run. And it's yeah, I mean, it's when you can stop the run while playing a defense that's still friendly to stopping the pass. I mean, you can't ask for a better situation. Now I wonder though with this running back in New England, his name is Ramondre
Which,
Stevenson.
yes,
He gives me like he gives me kind of like Derrick Henry Jr. vibes. He's strong. He's got a little speed to him, and I wonder if we're going to be able to hold him down the way we've held down running backs, over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. Are we going to have to commit a little bit more to it, more than we normally do to keep him down? Again, they don't want it. We want if they can keep us honest, this keeps this a game much longer than we want it to be. So I do have a little bit of pause there. I think the last time we played the Patriots, I can't remember if we won or not. It was last year, or the year before, and Stevenson I think he had a decent day against us because he was having a pretty good year, and so I have a little bit of concern there. But yeah, no, the defense is stopping the run without having to stack the box, which keeps our secondary strong. And yeah, if Drake Mays gonna have trouble with that, then all the better.
I'm excited about that. One thing that's really weird, just keep thinking about it, is the first half of last year and the prior year, how awful the Seahawks were at run defense. And then McDonald, halfway through last season, shuts the door on that. No more running from the opponents. Like it's amazing what coaching can do because the personnel, except for like maybe Umanori, is about the same.
Right, right. And let's not forget to circle back about Eamon Worry, but yeah, I mean, literally, you can't run against us.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we have stopped. I mean, and we've stopped some really good running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, the McCaffreys of the world, and like the guys that are you expect to have yards have done very little against us. And Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I when I'm watching the NFL Honors Show and I see McDonald, up there in the running, I'm kind of like, gosh, like maybe he should, kind of get more of a nod than just an honorable mention, because I mean he really has done great things for this team in a short period of time.
Yeah, it's a bummer because with Shanahan and all the injuries, or Mike Vrabel going 4 wins to 14 wins, he's not gonna get it. But yeah, honorable mention has to occur, doesn't it?
For sure. And I want to go ahead and say that I think, and I'm going to say this obviously as a Seahawk fan, but I'm going to because we are a fair, we're a fair team here, right? Seattle Sports Union, we're fair, right?
Fair and biased, yes.
I think that Kyle Shanahan got snubbed. I have to say it. I think he got snubbed for Coach of the Year. It should have been him. I mean, Vrabel did a great thing, but I think he got snubbed. He should what he did with that 49er team this year was uh, nothing short of amazing. Now you have to give credit where it's due. That's about as nice of a thing I'll say about the 49ers, but I think he got snubbed.
A couple updates here from Soul Man. Yes, Halani is going to be the backup, and we last played the Patriots in 2024. We won by 3, but Stevenson did get 81 yards and a TD. But let's get back to Eamon Worry, ankle injury. Did not practice today.
Yeah,
Yeah, worried?
a little bit. This is
Yeah,
the second or third time he's been out this season, and he was kind of. I saw a video of him on Instagram today where he was kind of doing that basketballers walk. Those guys that always have sore knees and ankles and
yeah,
stuff, and so when they're not on the court, they kind of have a little wobble hobble to them. When they're going from their car to their hotel or whatever they're doing, from the bus or wherever they come from. And he had that little walk going, but apparently the report is that it was a low, not a high ankle injury, and they're expecting him to be ready to play. So hopefully, once you have to go out there on that field and start getting warm, or get on there and start warming up for the a couple hours before the game, he's good to go, and they tape him up right, and he's out there able to go out there and do Nick and Eamon Mori stuff. But yeah, it's concerning because to not have him out there is immediately caution, right? You're like, okay, now what, right? So yeah, hopefully he's gonna be all right.
yeah. Who do you think? Who do you think on that defensive line is going to set themselves? Who's going to make a name for themselves?
Ooh, on the D
Because I think
line.
someone on this defensive line comes up big, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. In a way, I'd love it to be Demarcus Lawrence because I called it. I'm like that's the pickup of the year. But do you have anybody that you think like they're set and
If
they're
if
primed to be
not, if not, maybe Big Cat, right?
Leonard Williams? Okay,
Yeah, it's gonna be up to those guys, right? Like you mentioned earlier, what we do with our four down linemen, our front four is nothing short of amazing. We get pressure on the quarterback without blitzing. We stop the run without overcommitting. So I think the game's gonna lean a lot on them. So yeah, Big Cat or Demarcus Lawrence are really going to be factors, and Byron Murphy. He's been quietly really good this year.
hmm
So yeah, I kind of it's tough to pick one name out of that bunch.
yeah. Well, he's been quiet. It'd be nice if he made some noise this Sunday. Update here from Soul Man. They expect him to play. They expect him and Worry to play. So that's good because we need it. We need everybody at. I'll take Eamon Worry even at like 80% strength. I get this weird feeling though, Southwest Seahawk, that Reek Woolen gets picked on. Now you're the biggest Reek Woolen defender in the world. What do you think?
With the exception of the taunting penalty a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening. I think if anything, you might have to pick your poison, but I don't see anybody on that New England, excuse me, receiving core who they really have the ability to pick on.
You're not buying Stefan Diggs.
Stephon Diggs is great, but can he pick on Reek Woolen? Or can you scheme? I mean, because you have Stephon Diggs, but what else do you got? You got to have something more than just one marquee player to pick on a side of the
Now
field.
people could turn around and look at us and say you just have GS.
Yeah, but do you think? But where have we really picked on anybody? Right. Well, our scheme has allowed us to really play all over the field. right? We
Yeah.
haven't really
Well,
isolated anyone, really picked on any one player specifically.
well, one thing I can say too to that, to counter that, yeah, well, people have tried double teaming JSN and it still hasn't worked.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. I mean, there's been nothing. Yeah, because we have. I mean, the weapons we have, they may or may not be recognized as marquee, but Cooper Cup is still Cooper Cup, and Rashid Shaheed is very fast, in case you didn't know, so I mean, we have guys out there that are able to, draw the attention of players, of defenders, and someone's going to get open. You have to pick your poisons, one of those things, but Stephon Diggs does not scare me so much. He's a great receiver. He's gonna get his. I just don't see that. I don't see the New England offensive scheme being such that they can say, okay, we're gonna pick on 27. We're gonna.
Stephon Diggs, yeah, I think I agree with this. Stephon Diggs, he's very, very good. I don't think he's where he was 3 years ago, though.
No, no.
You know,
Where he was with where was he with
Buffalo, was it?
was he with Buffalo? Yeah. So yeah, he
I think it
just
was Buffalo.
Buffalo. And where was he before then? Was Buffalo and wasn't
Soul
he with
Man will look it up for us because us old people
Minnesota?
can't.
Was he in Minnesota?
Uh,
Yeah. But
some insanely cold place I don't want to go to. Yes,
so yeah, no, I
it
don't
was
see it being a
Buffalo. It
problem.
was Buffalo, then Houston. Okay,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Stephon Diggs so much. He's a great player who's gonna get his opportunities, and I don't worry about Reek Woolen, being taken advantage of.
There's a big payday in it for him if he comes up big.
Really, does he hit a marker in this game potentially?
No, no, I just think free agency. Reek Woolen
True.
comes up big, shows that he can overcome the lunacy that he had the week before last.
Yeah,
And somebody will give him a lot of money.
yeah, and I wonder, after I calmed down a bit with my anger towards him over that penalty and then the giving up of the touchdown the very next play, I wondered, like, okay, what happens with him this offseason? Are we assuming that he's not going to be a Seahawk moving forward?
I think he'll get a fair offer because we have the fourth highest salary cap. But I can easily see a team that needs a shutdown corner thinking that he's the shutdown corner of their dreams. Uh, because he's got the look, he's got the speed, he's got the height, he's got the muscle. Everything on his highlight reel, he looks like a shutdown corner. And I bet you there's teams that think like, you know what? We'll put up with the one or two dumb mistakes.
Well, I mean, in that being the case, maybe we are,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I was thinking the Cowboys. The Cowboys are dumb. Somebody, getting a message here. Select says someone will offer 1 year, 8.2 million for next year. No, that's kind of low, Brian. He's going to get a lot more than that. He's going to get a multi-year contract. Yeah, I that's just the going rate for cornerbacks is much higher than 8.2 million. And no, and so Soul Man's messaging me. The internet says so. And no, Brian, no, you do not get to say that. He heard it on the internet. My God.
Well, everybody knows that if you hear it on the internet, it's absolutely true. So
It's absolutely true. Okay. Except for when Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith are talking. Anyway, so all right, Rob, we're better at predicting things than Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. I have no doubt that 99% of YouTube commenters on sports are better than those two. So anyway, getting back to the Super Bowl here. So when you look at the key to the Seahawks winning, what do you think? I mean, we did talk a little bit about like Sam Darnold. We talked about offensive line. We didn't talk about the tight ends. Why don't we talk about the tight ends, Rob? Remember, I'm AJ Barner's #1 fan. I definitely did not last year get all over the guy because he wasn't up to my expectations. I did. I kind of was mean to him last year.
yeah, I think I remember that you were mean to him. And that's because we just have not had a whole lot of success from the tight end position in a while, and we've had guys that maybe we thought were going to be producers, maybe even high level producers, and it just never came to fruition really.
Jimmy Graham, Jeremy Stevens.
Yes, exactly. Or even more recently, what did we have a couple years ago? Well, I mean, obviously the big one for me, who I'm very upset because he had started playing really good with LA, was Colby Parkinson. Like
Colby
I'm
Parkinson.
really upset that we let Colby Parkinson go. But but the Rams found a way to use him. I don't know why we couldn't. So yeah, it's but no, AJ Barner has been great for us. The change in Seattle, has brought about a change in how we run our offense, and we've used the tight end in a lot of ways, and and it's bearing fruit. I love the what we call it, is it the barnyard push or whatever?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. I love that. It's our own version of the tush push, and it's working great. Barner has been I mean, he's been great for us. And then we have the other guy who, I can never remember the other guy's name. I don't not Arroyo, but the guy, because Arroyo's been out, but the guy who
Or
Sauber, there you go. Who's actually, been done well in his times that he's getting called up. So yeah, and then Arroyo, if he can be somewhat what we expected him to be. I mean, again, we've got tight ends now, so
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we don't talk about him, but can't take anything away from AJ Barner. He's been great. And one can only hope that the downfield play might be so good that they start forget about stuff underneath, and we can use him on Sunday.
I had to give you that softball. You resisted the urge to say "I told you so" because you're singing his praises last year, but I'm giving you that chance.
No, this
Not going to take it.
this is
No.
a time for remaining positive, Abe. I typically never waste an opportunity to take a shot at you. You know, but I'm trying to keep the good juju up. For this one, we're gonna keep the frequencies high, right? After we win the Super Bowl, then I'll come back and be like, hey, AJ Barner.
So you know what the HA stands for?
I don't.
So I saw this on the internet. So take it for what it is. I saw a clip and he was being interviewed and he said Alfred Javante Barner.
Alfred Javante.
I say BS. I say he's pulling the reporter's leg on that one, but
I'm gonna look it up as we speak, because that is hilarious. Albert Javante.
is it really?
Albert Javante Barner.
Boy,
That is
how the hell did that happen?
yeah, that's I would like to meet his parents.
A name like Javante, are you sure you're not one of his parents? Anyway,
Well, how old is he? Is it possible? It's technically
I don't know.
possible.
I heard this week you and the ladies are you're very popular with the ladies, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, well, you told me, there's somebody out there who, kind of appreciates me, and I'm loving that, you know? I love to be appreciated by the ladies.
Who doesn't? Okay, anyway, so getting towards the end of the show, but I want to bring up what I think is going to be the biggest influence on the game, and it's going to be special teams because I think it'll be rather low scoring, but I think the grade A kicker that we have, Myers, the grade A punter that we have, and then the A plus kick returner that we have. So I could very much see us winning the game with a bunch of field goals or just constantly pinning them inside the 20 and or a punt return or kick return.
A low scoring
Nobody's
game, huh? You think?
yeah. Well, nobody I think the Patriots defense is very good, yes. But I don't think anybody's talking about the special teams though. And how much better they were than the rest of the NFL. Like through all of Nathan Savage's, advanced metrics, we've had the best special teams this year. All around. And I think about it and it's like, yes, we have. We're not one of those teams that kick the ball through the end zone and just give it up at the 35. But other teams do that to us all the time because they're scared of Shaheed. Our punter is constantly pinning other teams, making them go the long field. Like there isn't, there's teams that are as good as us on defense or in the same neighborhood. There's teams as good as us on offense in the same neighborhood. Nobody's in our class special teams wise. And I think that's what the difference is.
Yeah, and I think special teams definitely ends up making a play, maybe even a play or two in this game. They have to make a decision, right? Sometimes punting the ball not to the returner isn't always an option. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I don't see a low scoring
You don't. Okay.
game, Abe. I think we probably have score in the 30s to the 20s. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's gonna have in the 30s, someone's gonna be in the 20s, something like that. I think you're gonna have over 50 points scored in this game.
Well, I think Soul Man's getting the jump. Who the player of the game is going to be? He's got K9. We haven't barely talked about him. We talked more about George Filani than we did K9. But I could see that too. I could see this where this is a let the offensive line be bullies and K9 will hit the edge. I mean, that play against the Rams where he beat that defensive end to the end zone on the sweep to the right, that's just flat out speed.
Yeah, and there was a play, I think it was against the Rams as well, where he ran inside and he threw the deepest instep on this defender and then cut back out, and I mean, left the guy. I'm pretty sure the guy's ankles stayed in one spot and the rest of his body went somewhere else. I mean, the in cut he threw on him was so deep. Like you don't even see that happen so much. Like it was. I mean, he's so shifty and so
Yeah.
elusive, and then add to that the speed that he has with his strength as well. And he's a very tough guy to bring down. And yeah, I would easily see him being a factor later in the game. Again, I want to see a balanced game from this team. And I think when you're balanced and you can run the ball, you're going to tire that defense out. Obviously, it's kind of the name of the game. And then late, somewhere in the third quarter, you bust one. And that's what I'm seeing. That shiftiness and that speed come up. He'll run through a tackle where somebody was out of position, and he's gonna get around the edge and 30, 40, maybe to the house. Something like that. I can see something like that happen.
Where are you watching the game?
I will be hosting a Super Bowl extravaganza at my home. Yeah, so I made a flyer and everything and sent it out digitally to all the folks. And yeah, and I'm doing it potluck style. I had a little smaller party for the NFC Championship weekend round, and I did everything myself. I did all the food and everything. I'm like, all right, I'm not paying all that money this time. Y'all gonna bring your own stuff. I'll bring some stuff. I'll provide
Your
some
host,
stuff, and I'll provide the house and the 85-incher and the surround sound and all that. But y'all got to bring some food this time.
and remind them no one smashed the TV.
If they smash the TV, they're gonna have bigger problems than they're gonna have big. I'm not worried about that. No one's smashing the TV because I wouldn't smash the TV. Yeah, we ain't worried about that.
What's your pick? What's your prediction?
I'm gonna go ahead and say something like I'm gonna say like 36-28.
Okay, high scoring shootout. I think the network would love that. They would love the ratings that would give. Uh, Soulman's got a prediction here. Soulman, you also got to tell me where you're going to watch the Super Bowl. But his prediction is the blowout that I talked about at the top of the show. And he says it's going to be 29 Seahawks, 13 Patriots. And he's going to be watching. His wife is sick, so he's going to stay home. He's a better man than I. If my wife were sick, I'd be like, all right, going out.
See you in a couple hours.
And now everybody knows why I'm not married. That's right. There's the point. But speaking of going out, I will be at the Snoqualmie Casino. I'm not a big casino guy, but my friend says there's food and big TVs. So I'm a food and big TVs guy. So that's where I'll be. And I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I honestly think it's going to be something like Seahawks 17 and Patriots 10. Like I think it's going to be that low. And I think special teams makes the difference.
Really?
All
Okay.
right. Well, I want to thank everybody out there for what. Oh, we got to do shout outs. I forgot about shout outs. So I'll do the first shout out. My shout out is to all the 12s, all the Seahawks fans, all the players, the coaches' wives, the concessionaires, the people taking tickets, security guards, everybody. It's been an amazing season. And it could not have happened without each and every single one of you. And Soulman's got his shout out. His is for the Southwest Seahawk, Rob English. He's giving you condolences for the loss of your grandmother, I believe it was.
Yes, sir.
And yeah,
No,
but he's also, yeah, that's a bummer, man. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And that's actually going to be my shout out. My shout out is to my family and to my grandmother, who was a saint. Anybody who ever had the pleasure of crossing paths with Valerie Strickland would say the same. She raised me the lion's share of my younger life, and I'm only better for it. And yeah, the world has lost a good one with her passing. So yeah, I am, yeah, the family is going through it and getting through it. But yeah, shout out to Grandma Val for, for 89 years of making this world a better place and making a lot of people better in doing so. So love you, Grandma Val.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So on behalf of all of us here at the Seattle Sports Union, I want to wish you a very Merry Super Bowl. Um, you can find all of our great content here on YouTube. Check us out on social media, Spotify, on X. We're at Seattle Sports U. Like us on Facebook, and please, please root for the Seahawks, and please, please, please give us a win out there. I send this out to the universe. Give us the win. All right,
Absolutely.
we'll see you guys next time.
Give us the win. That's right. Go Hawks.
There it is. See you guys.